Hello everyone, my name is S, I'll be doing Swat 4. I think I am good to go, but I'm not sure. So let's make a profile, officer shots fired. Alright, so alright. 3, 2, 1, go. So, there's 11 maps in this game. The goal is to apprehend the suspects and rescue the civilians. We're not gonna do that, we're going to apprehend the civilians and rescue the suspects. So, the first thing I should note is that my gun is loaded with full metal jacket bullets. And full metal jacket bullets don't kill your target if you put a single headshot in. The hitboxes are a bit weird though. But yeah, normally I'm supposed to handcuff these civilians. And that takes a lot of time. So instead I'm shooting them in the face, which causes them to go comatose. Which is better than them being dead. And that's fine. I will fail the mission if a civilian dies. But because they're merely going comatose, it's all good. So that was the first level done. I think there's not much else as far as game mechanics go in this run. Okay.
Regroup and stand by to move. Gold. Open and clear.
It's all really just about finding the best route. A main selling point of this game is that every time you replay a map... Is there an audio desync on my end? Alright, there's not. What was I saying? Oh yeah, a main selling point of this game is that all the civilians and suspects will be in different locations every time you replay the map. So there's some rooms like these toilets that, especially in a marathon run, I just want to check them in case there's someone in there. Even though there's a big chance that they're gonna be empty anyways. A lot of the patterns are predictable though, so there's a bunch of rooms that I'll skip over sometimes. But not a lot of them. Also, running upstairs is really slow, so I run up the ramp instead. So these were the first 3 levels. They're pretty easy. Now we are getting to the first somewhat difficult level. I have a team with me. Okay, this guy usually isn't there. He shot me in the arm, which is inconvenient. Yeah, okay, that was disastrous. Also, at the start of each level, the dispatch will be saying a little story. If you hold the directional keys during the loading, you can walk during that bit, but only in the ways you are holding. So usually I just hold W, A, S and D. Or not S, just W, A and D. And by letting go of A at a certain point, I can walk forward and then turn right.
Suspect in sight.
I'm just throwing gas grenades into this room because the people in there's always a lot of people in there and they will shoot me. Alright. So this guy likes to shoot me and that guy too. Taking it slowly. It's better to go slow than to die and having to start over. And if they're carrying a gun, I can just shoot them and I will get a penalty for that. But because I'm on easy, the penalty doesn't actually matter. I have to get a score of 0% or higher. But my score can't go into the negative. So I don't have to worry about penalties. This is a really unique pattern. They're usually not spread out like this. So I'm pressing W, 7 and D now. The 7 button equips my breaching shotgun. And then holding W and D will make me move forward and right a bit. And then I'll let go of D pretty much right away, so that I'll just walk forwards.
Move on in. Roger, moving up.
So this map is
Take care of that room.
pretty complicated in its layout. There's a lot of people for suspects if they run away to go. So I have to be pretty specific in what I order my team to do. This door is locked. That's not usually the case. Just firing some... Ah, there he is. Shots in there so that it scares him and he'll reveal himself. Alright, so now I'm on the other side of the map from where my team is. So what I'll do is check this corner first for the suspects. And then fail at shooting him. Then shoot this guy. Alright, not shoot that guy. And then order my team to go through these doors. And now they'll sweep through the entire map on the bottom floor. And then this guy ran off. Okay, so I shot him in the face and he survived. That sometimes happens. But I'll just shoot him in the leg a couple of times and he'll go down without dying. For some reason they didn't check this room. It's because this door is locked. It's gonna do something risky here. This door is locked. But there's usually a suspect behind it, so I have to breach the door because it's quicker than picking the lock. But then I'll also have to breach the suspect's face. This should be the last guy, but he's not, which means that one of the people ran away and now I have to play hide and seek. And that loses a lot of time, which is why the estimate for this game is over an hour long. Even though my PB is 40 minutes. It's because it's really easy to get screwed over in this game.
Open and clear. Move when ready.
He's probably on the top floor. I am guessing he is in the... behind the counter somewhere. He could actually be in the fucking closet that I didn't check. No. The only time someone spawns in there is one specific person and he spawned up here already. That's why I knew there was not anyone in the closet. So there's a suspect somewhere. He's not hiding behind the shelf. He's not here. He is nowhere. This guy is nowhere to be found. Peculiar. He could be on the roof. It could be that he ran off to the roof. Let me check the parking garage first.
Clear it. Move.
Copy. On it.
Move it. Go, go, go.
It's not here. I want to go through the doorway. If he's not on the roof, I'm going to be legitimately confused. Because I've checked everywhere, I think. But they're not on the roof. This is where I spawned, and if I spawn here, that's just not likely to be on the roof. I have no clue where he could be. I'm gonna do one more sweep through the level. I'll also just restart, I guess, and do it again.
Hands up! Get down!
It could actually be that he surrendered when my teammate went into a room, and that he's just crouching behind a chair or something on his knees, and I just didn't see him. But yeah, I shot everyone here. The reason I don't use my team much in this game is ordering them around is really clunky. I'll be doing it a lot on the Children of Their Own level. But usually it's they don't listen to orders, or they have something to whine about and they're really slow and they just get in your way. Like they're not here.
Police, on your knees!
This is very odd. That's what I mean. He was crouching behind some stupid object. Alright. So yeah, that's why my estimate is so high. If that happens on every single map, which is very likely, I will lose over half, or over double the time of my run. Alright, so on this level, breach the door, then look behind, because this guy will reveal himself.
Gold. Let's get a wedge on that.
There's a quick way to run up those stairs. I should have reloaded. I need a lot of bullets in this game, or in this room.
Oh, shit.
I'll ignore the civilian for now. They won't move.
Elise! Oh, shit. Run!
And physics. Alright, so now that all the suspects in this room are dead, we're going to execute the civilians. There's two of them. There might be one in the corner on the other end of this room. Okay, so she just died. Instead of going comatose. Which is sometimes happens. My guess it's because my bullet went through her head and into her body, giving her double the damage. One for being hit in the face and one for being hit in the chest.
Gold. Wedge that. Go on to the prizes.
So there's a suspect in our next room because someone shouted quit whining. There's 2 suspects even.
Damn, you got nerve.
And as I mentioned earlier, the alternative is to whip out my handcuffs and handcuff them, but that's really slow.
Open it. Go when ready.
So I'm sending red team in here, so they'll guard the hallway, and then blue team in there to clear the room of suspects.
Police, they're finally here.
And any runners that will come from anywhere, from below or from any of the rooms that I or blue team invades, they'll run into red team, and then red team will take care of them. Hopefully, ideally. So this room is pretty nifty. I can shoot stuff from the top, but I can also shoot. They can also shoot me from below. So I'd rather not waste too much time up here, especially because aiming takes so long.
Move and clear.
And then I send blue team all the way down, and they'll clear the path ahead. As you can see in the picture-in-picture image of blue team. This guy survived a headshot, so I shoot him in the leg and now he's comatose. Alright, sending red team in with me.
Follow me.
As you can see, blue team is doing their job.
Police, on your knees.
Feels like I'm on a cop show.
So I wedged that door earlier so that people like him can't use it. This door is locked. I shot her by accident, I think, so I'll just shoot her in the leg a couple of times. Maybe not. At this rate, handcuffing hammer would be faster than reloading and missing her leg a couple of times. That should be the last room, so I'll send my team in, they'll clear any suspects in there, and I'll just pick off the civilians who are still alive. If there are any civilians, there's one here. And there we go, that's this mission done. And ideally, or what the game wants you to do is also collect all the evidence, namely the guns, and report all the suspects and civilians to TOC, so they know how many ambulances to get and stuff. And if you do that, you get points. But since I'm not aiming for a high score,
Regroup on me.
I'm just aiming to finish these maps. I don't bother doing that.
No, look, cops.
Open and clear. Move when ready.
On it.
So this is one of a few instances where I'm actually using the sniper view. He has a good view on
There's too many of them.
on the top area of that room.
Doc, this is Sierra 1. Element spotted.
Open and clear.
This map is pretty linear. Are you a suspect? A civilian? You're a suspect. The start of this map is very linear, and then there's a circular area. So I'm sending my teammate in one end of the circle, and then I'll go the other end of the circle myself.
Open and clear.
And then I'll meet up with them here. Ow.
Clear that room.
Copy. On it.
So my team cleared this room. There should be a bunch of civilians here, so I'm just gonna pick them off real quick.
What was that?
And then we go upstairs, and then at this end is just a line.
Checking out the laundromat now.
He's not in the toilet.
Entry team.
Okay, there should be a suspect behind here. Yep. And there we go. Up next is one of the more difficult maps, Duplessis. A really large map. So I'm holding W, A and D, and then I let go of A and W at a certain point so that I can steer and walk to the left. So send red in there.
Get her open and clear it.
Police, drop your weapons.
Damn, you got nerve.
And then blue in here.
Get through there. Go.
And that should prevent any runners from going into the lobby. Ideally, from the top, from the bottom floor, but from the top floor, which I'm clearing on my own. They really like to run behind my back and then hide behind one of these fences. So just check these rooms.
The police are finally here.
In this room is only one of two patterns. Either there's one civilian and no suspects, or three civilians and one suspect. And you can tell what the pattern is just by the screams of the civilians. They'll scream if there's a suspect around, which is really useful if you miss one. But sometimes it's annoying because even if they're dead, civilians still like to scream help. You could hear it quite faintly. There's one of the civilians screamed help.
Over there.
Probably her.
I won't get in your way.
Get down now. Over here.
I'm having a lot of spawns that I usually don't get. Not only on this level, but on a lot of other levels.
Red team. Open and clear. Go when ready.
So now I merged with my team again, so I'm sending them into the rooms. And blue team just took care of all the trouble for me. And I just have to pick off the innocent civilians.
Jackson, I'm clear. Not this time.
Element.
Alright, so up next is the most difficult room in this map.
Talk, this is entry team. There's a large number of heavily armed suspects. Be advised.
So I'm just throwing a flashbang in there.
Stay sharp.
Can't we be reasonable? The shooters.
And it didn't go so well.
Take him into custody.
Hang in there. No hard feelings.
I got shot in the leg. Alright, that's the last guy. So now is the most difficult level of the game, Children of Tyrone. As I mentioned earlier, the spawns are random. But Children of Tyrone just knows how to beat all the other maps at doing that.
Gold.
It throws
Clear. Go when ready.
a lot of unforeseen scenarios at you every playthrough. And instead of it being like one civilian in a room you didn't expect, it's 5 suspects in a room you didn't expect. So I'm using the sniper to clear, and then my game hangs when I get out of the sniper view.
Regroup on me. Red team. Get her open and clear it.
Tell me this will be over.
Get through
I'm just waiting for my team to abide my my orders. They don't like to listen.
Blue team. Keep it moving. Clear it.
This is insane.
Police, get down now.
So as I mentioned, there were 3 people in the room. I've never had that before, and then one of them comes from behind to top it off.
Talk, this is Sierra 1. Entry team spotted.
It's just one of those situations that is new, and then she opens the door to one of the potential most deadly rooms in this map. But now it's empty. It's either empty or filled with 5 suspects and a civilian. Alright. Red team and died, it seems.
Red. Clear it. Go. Go.
Come on, boss. Let's move.
My concern now is that
Suspect fleeing. Area clear. Here they come.
someone... Alright, so ideally I would have wanted a red team to clear this entire room, but they didn't. He just walked over there and said, oh, it's clear, and then there were 2 suspects.
Over there.
I got shot in the leg, so I'm moving slowly, which loses a shitload of time. So my team is upstairs, and then I ordered them to go through a door through the window, and they'll walk through the one hallway that I haven't checked yet.
Time to move. Ow.
No visible threats.
Moving on. In position. Clear. Clear.
While I'm walking slowly, I actually have time to take a look at the chat. So, well, we're going to the second most deadly room, the basement.
I got
I'll
a point.
pick
Get behind
at the chat real quick
Behind you.
for questions. I don't spot any questions right
Opening
now.
clear. Move when ready. Got it.
This place is giving me the creeps.
So this room likes to be filled with
Suspect spotted.
many suspects. That's a civilian though.
Suspect killed.
That's 3 suspects and a civilian. 5 suspects and a civilian. That nearly went really bad. You can see why I said that room is deadly. They also shot the civilian. That civilian nearly died, but luckily he only went comatose. I forgot to change the entry point for this map. So I'm just gonna abort the mission because this is St. Michael's is the most linear mission in the game. And you can either start in the middle of the line or at one end of the lines, and I accidentally started in the middle of the line. Am I the law? I am the law.
Thank you, Terry. We're reporting live just a few blocks from St. Michael's Medical
Element.
Center, where
Get her open
apparently
and clear it.
terrorists have invaded the
So I'm sending my team to clear that hallway or that room at the far end while I clear this room.
Here are the breaking
And then by the time the slow asses have made it to the other room, I have made it to this room. And any runners from their room will run into my room through this door. So that's I'm kind of flanking the suspects, but my team took care of it. So now I send my team in there.
Go when ready. Here we go.
Get down and show me your hands. Police, hands up. Police, drop your weapons. Hands up. Suspect contact. Suspect spotted. Go, go, go. Time to move.
While I clear this room, albeit slowly.
Put your weapons. Police, drop your weapons. Police, get those hands up. No. This one's not giving up.
I shot my team, and they didn't even give me a warning, so they just shot me. Usually you can shoot your team like 3 times before they say no more warnings, and if you shoot them a 4th time, they will actually call you a traitor and shoot you.
Get her open and clear it.
But for some reason they just decided to shoot me right away after I accidentally shot them. That's unlucky.
To put an end to the situation.
Talk.
Here are the
The
breaking
TVs are on in
details
here in
at
the
this
damn
time.
entry team
An
to
unknown
talk.
number
We have a
of
DOA
heavily
here.
armed gunmen stormed into the hospital.
Contacting medics.
I hope you're not too late.
They're not telling us too many details, but judging by the number of ambulances,
Get down now.
oh my god, don't shoot me!
I'm hit. Clear it. Go. Go.
So they're going in there while I check this room. And hopefully I won't mistake my team for a suspect again. I'm not used to them running to this spot when
Moving forward. Trailer.
when I come out that door.
Open and clear.
Hence why I thought they were a suspect and I shot them.
Put your hands up. Do it. Let's move.
Alright, so now we're going downstairs, and there's actually a small circle, circular area, so
Red team, get in there and clear.
I'm going to do the same as I did in Red Library offices.
Open and clear.
I'm setting my red team to be at where the circle ends, and then my blue team goes into a room. And then I got shot in the leg again.
We've got company.
Wow.
Get down. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Get down.
So yeah, if you're wondering why sometimes I'm going really full instead of slow, this is the reason. Because if I just barge into every room at full speed, usually they'll see me before I see them, and they'll shoot me in the leg, and it'll cost me a lot of time. And that room, I just barged in really without being careful, and I got shot in the leg, in the chest, and in the arm.
Blue team, fall in on me. Right on. With you.
So Walcott Projects is the next level.
Responding to staging at 12
Um,
Canopy Road. High-risk warrant service.
The good thing about this map is everyone's a suspect,
Open and clear. Go
except
and
for one person. So I can just shoot on sight without having to worry that I'm shooting a civilian. Downside is, one of the suspects is an undercover cop, and I can't actually shoot on sight.
They're here. Oh! I'm gonna wish you stayed out of this.
I'm luckily I didn't get shot there.
Doc, this is Sierra 1. Element
Okay, that's the undercover cop.
Entry team to top.
Red, clear that room.
Doc, this is Sierra 2. Entry team spotted.
Blue, take care of that room.
5-0, 5-0. Oh God! You should have stayed out.
So that the only civilian is usually in here. They're not. Alright.
Suspect killed.
And then I run out of ammo like an idiot. So let's do that again. Every time you die, you have to start over the entire level.
Staging at 1210 Canopy
And
Road.
dying is really easy in this run. Hence why my estimate is so high.
Element, regroup and follow me.
Entry team to TOC. We're in position.
Doc to entry team, you are cleared for action. Go when ready.
Police!
The good thing about playing on easy is they tend to scream police and then run away instead of shooting you right away on sight.
Get in and clear.
So that gives me a slight advantage over the suspects.
Doc, this is Sierra 2.
Blue team, move and clear.
Over here!
Keep it going.
I see the
Clear
cops.
it.
Run! Oh! Oh! You better stop those bastards.
Not sure why this door was locked. My blue team should be doing the rest of the work on this upper floor.
The cops are
Suspect.
here.
Red team.
Suspect down.
Clear it. Go, go. Come on.
This door is locked, alright.
Follow your walls.
Alright, that's the undercover cop.
Doc, this is Sierra 1. Element spotted.
So sometimes a random door is locked on this map and it screws over my team and they'll not be where I think they'll be, and then a runner can actually run away instead of running into trouble.
clear. Move when ready.
Copy, boss.
So I took a quick look in the stats menu for like a few, a fraction of a second to see if there was a civilian alive still. If there is, I don't need to check behind, or, oh. If there's not, I don't need to check behind that dumpster I just did. If there is, then they're behind that dumpster. So, as I said, my team had a locked door on their way, so they weren't where I thought they would be. And now a runner has actually ran to God knows where. So it's another game of hide and seek. Let's first check though if one of the suspects didn't just surrender when blue team ran in.
Home sweet home.
They didn't. Alright, that's me being stupid. I could see him on the sniper view, but I just didn't bother to check.
Central VCC to add on board.
Old Granite Hotel has a shape of an 8. So I make sure to pick the entry point that is in the very center of the 8 shape where the two circles connect.
CP at 1700 West 7th Avenue. Hostage situation.
And what I do then is check one circle while my team guards the connecting point. And then check the other circle. I want to do the very first floor, which is one circle of the 8, on one clip of ammo, because I'm going to need the other 3 clips for the other circle. So here's something funny. I breached this door because it's locked. And then if there's a suspect in this toilet, he will just come out and I can shoot him. Because he's like, hey, I heard an explosion outside the room. And then I didn't listen to what Sniper 1 had to say, who has an eye on that room, on this room. He said there was a suspect, but I just didn't listen, so I walked in there. That suspect could have shot me hard. This guy is always here. Almost no exceptions. Alright, so that's one circle done. Now I'm going upstairs and I do the other half of the 8 shape. Also there's bombs, so I'm sending red team to defuse the bombs. And then blue team into the room to clear any bad guys. Oh, he feigns death.
It's safe.
Blue. Clear it. Go. Go. Got it.
Doctor entry team, we managed to access surveillance from a nearby storefront.
So this guy's always here, and then there's these paint cans that get in the way of me shooting suspects. So I shoot the paint cans.
Copy that, Talk. I don't think we have time for the squad, so we'll shut them.
Red. Disable that.
Alright, so blue team died, which I am not happy about. Because then suspects can go back downstairs. And I need red team to disable the bombs. So it's not like I can just put the red team at the top of the stairs and they'll take care of any runners, which is rather annoying. Let's take a look at the sniper view. Oh, there's no one, but there was this one guy who shot me in the leg. I'm gonna send a red team in that room.
Open it. Go when ready.
And there should be a bomb here because I've only encountered 2 bombs.
Get rid of it. Down. Suspect neutralized. Copy. It'll just take a minute.
Disable that.
That was a cinch. It's safe.
So I'm just waiting for him there to finish disabling the bomb so that he can disable the other bomb while I clear this room. This room will probably kill me, by the way. This is a really deadly room. The good thing about being shot in the leg is your accuracy increases while running because you're going slower. So at least I don't have to crouch and wait for my reticle to become tiny again. Alright, that was as good as it can go considering the circumstances. So we're already on the last map, which is Mount Threshold Research Center. It's a really good last map, but I'd like to think that I've gotten it fairly consistent in the speedrun. And yeah, that was the only officer that was left alive.
Suspect in sight. Suspect down.
So I sent my team in there, they'll clear that room. I'll pick off the civilians in this room. And then any suspect who runs away from that team, or my team, will run towards me. And then I shot her in the hand instead. She might die. Alright, I'm good. And then he shoots me, it's fine. As long as I'm not getting shot in the leg at the very start of the map, it's fine.
Get down! Hands in the air! How much this expensive shit cost?
There's definitely a suspect here. There he is. Alright, cool. Alright, so that's the top 4 done. If you've played this game, you may remember from this map that there's a briefcase that you need to find. And at least for me, the first time I played this, finding that briefcase was impossible.
Open and clear. Go when ready.
But it's actually really easy to tell where it is. I'll explain when it's that time. So I'm going to tell them to go through that door and then they'll clear all the rooms on the way while I check this room. And pick off these civilians.
I thought tonight couldn't get any worse.
Everybody down!
Not too late.
Put your hands in the air! Do it now! Police! Show me your hands! What the hell?
Suspect in sight.
Drop the suspect! Put your hands in the air!
I don't think he actually wanted to go through that door, but I shot him anyways. Because that door leads to the balcony I was on earlier. And if I do go through that door, I'm in trouble. Because then they'll run upstairs and I have to check the entire upper floor again. So I'm just checking this room real quick. And there's actually a suspect here for once. There never is except for now. So I'll tell my team to go in there. This last 5 rooms or so are quite shaped like a maze. So I have to invade them from 2 sides. This woman is always here, by the way. So anyone running from my team right now will end up in this room. So for the briefcase, there's going to be a civilian dressed in green. Bright green, bright dark green, this guy. And he always spawns next to the suitcase, the briefcase. And then get ready for time. I'm just going to pick off these last civilians and that should be the end of this map, end of this game. So, time. That was a fairly decent run. .43.48. That is roughly 9 minutes behind my PB. The estimate is on 1 hour and 10 minutes, I think. So yeah, this is pretty good compared to your average run. Compared to my PB, of course, it was pretty sloppy and RNG was a bit unnice to me. But it could have been a lot worse. And I decided, hey, a high estimate is good for if the marathon is behind schedule. As has been told by me. Well, we're not behind anymore. So you're welcome. Yeah, things could have gone very wrong, and they went very wrong on 2 maps, I think, from what I remember. The garage one was one of them. Yeah, other than that, this run was alright. So thanks for having me on the show. Up next is Psycho Ripper with one of the Resident Evils. I'm taking over the host's job here, by the way. But yeah, thanks for having me on the marathon. I hope you guys enjoyed this run. And stay tuned for the next run. Unless we're too far ahead of schedule and you guys want me to show off something, I wouldn't know what to show off. But yeah, that's... If not, I'll just head off. You can show us something short. I don't really have anything short to show off in this game, so... I think 10 minutes is not too bad, I guess. So I'm just gonna head off. But yeah, thanks for having on a marathon. Hope you guys, the viewers, enjoyed this run and enjoy the next stuff. So, bye bye.